Aliens with their massive spaceship, bigger than the moon, is coming to Earth to extract the core of the Earth and use it as fuel for their spaceship. The movie begins in the vastness of space, aboard the extraterrestrial mothership. An entity is watching Thomas Whitmore's inspiring speech from the battle that occurred 2 decades ago, depicted in the first Independence Day movie. The entity emits a menacing sound, but it turns out to be merely a frightening dream that abruptly awakens Whitmore. Patty's fiancé Jake Morrison is stationed at a lunar base where he collaborates with his closest companion Charlie on a particular device. They are engaged in the installation of space laser guns on a defensive base on the moon, so that you can stop the enemy right on the moon. During their work, the machine becomes unstable and poses a threat of collapsing onto the base, where the entire management team and crew are located. However, Jake takes swift action by utilizing his pod to lift and stabilize the machine, preventing any disaster. He uses the heat nuclear thrust of the capsule, which also exposes him to great risk. The risk is justified, and he saves the entire crew and military weapons. As a consequence of the incident, Jake receives a severe reprimand from his superior, General John Lau. General Joshua Adams is escorted to a prison where a group of captured aliens from the previous battle have been held in captivity for the past 2 decades. These extraterrestrial beings have remained in a catatonic state throughout this time. However, an intriguing development occurred just a few hours ago when all of the aliens suddenly became active and highly agitated. David Levinson and Floyd Rosenberg journeyed to an African military base to meet with warlord Dyke Mumbu. Upon arrival at the base, they are met by hostile African rebels armed with an alien arsenal. At the base, David unexpectedly meets with his former lover, Dr. Catherine Marceau. Dr. Catherine says that the Umbudu fighters have been fighting aliens for almost 10 years. And in the brain of the Umbudu fighters, a certain connection was formed with the subconscious of the aliens. The team's mission involves investigating a crashed alien spacecraft, one that displays a unique and unfamiliar shape and design. Chief Umbudu reports that for some unknown reason the ship turned on 2 days ago. Upon closer examination, David and Catherine determine that the craft was drilling into the Earth's surface. However, they are unable to determine the purpose of the drilling. Umbudu recounts his battle against the extraterrestrial invaders, in which he and his troops were able to seize alien weaponry. Furthermore, Umbudu claims to have experienced visions relating to the aliens. Meanwhile, the crashed ship has sent out a distress signal back to its home planet. An international squadron led by Captain Dylan Hiller arrives at the lunar base to continue their military service. Dylan also makes an appearance, which escalates tension between him and Jake due to a near-fatal training incident caused by Jake's mistake. Jake gets close to Dylan, and the tension heats up more and more. In retaliation, Dylan responds by landing a punch on Jake's face. Their altercation does not go unnoticed, and General Zhang severely admonishes both of them for their behavior. In a hospital setting, Dr. Brakash Okun, who had been in a coma for 2 decades, finally regains consciousness. General Adams is informed that a certain force is approaching near the rings of Saturn and destroying the defense bases that are located next to it. The general raises the red alert level. Dr. Levinson and Dr. Catherine are discussing a certain symbol they found near an alien ship in Africa, as he had exactly the same visions. As the moon base and various teams on Earth continue their activities, they suddenly spot a spherical spacecraft approaching. This unidentified craft is observed by individuals in Africa as well as President Lanford's staff. It turns out that the symbols that caused fear represent the very spherical spaceship that has just arrived. People are not sure if it is an enemy or a friend, but this spaceship is definitely not like the spaceship that attacked 20 years ago. Perceiving it as a potential threat, President Lanford gives the order to shoot it down. The moon-based team swiftly responds by firing their powerful laser cannon at the incoming craft, causing it to abruptly reverse its trajectory and move away. Filled with a sense of triumph, all the teams rejoice, believing they have achieved another significant victory against the alien presence. President Lanford urges Dr. Levinson to come to Washington to celebrate Independence Day. In Africa, Jake arrives in his shuttle to transport David, Catherine, Umbudu, and Floyd to the crash site of the spacecraft located on the moon. Levinson's team gets to the crash site of a spherical object and lands to begin research. Back on Earth in Washington, D.C., a grand celebration takes place to commemorate the successful takedown of the alien craft and mark the 20th anniversary of humanity's victory against the invaders. Many veterans who fought in the initial alien invasion, including the elderly and frail General Gray, attend the event. Levinson and his team discover a white spherical object and begin extracting it. President Lanford acknowledges the remarkable efforts of the Moon team in her speech. Unexpectedly, Thomas Whitmore steps forward to address the crowd but is interrupted by an urgent warning that they are coming back. Simultaneously, Thomas, Umbutu, and Brackish all experience an unsettling sensation. High above Earth, an enormous ship, dwarfing the previous mothership in size, approach us. His shadow completely covers the moon. The diameter of the ship is almost 1.5 times larger than the moon. David's team barely manages to escape and grab a white sphere, which they found on the wreckage of a previously downed ship. The goal of the aliens is the moon base. The attacks of the lunar base do not lead to any success. They cannot penetrate the enemy's energy shield. With one powerful shot, the aliens destroy the lunar base, which leads to the death of General Zhang and several other people, which Rain witnessed. The alien spaceship is heading towards Earth. Meanwhile, Earth activates the orbital defense system. But even without having time to aim, the enemy destroys them without giving them a chance to attack. The colossal ship then moves over the North Atlantic Ocean, using its advanced technology to levitate portions of China and Dubai, causing widespread destruction wherever it hovers. Major cities like London, Shanghai, and Dubai are devastated as skyscrapers, vehicles, and people are suspended in the air before crashing back to the ground. Meanwhile, Julius, who is on board his boat, finds himself under the onslaught of a huge wave crashing onto his ship. He is heading towards the shore as fast as possible. The landing of the ship leads to large-scale fatal destruction all over the Earth. Alien ship lands completely on Earth. General Joshua escorts President Whitmore to the prison where alien prisoners are being held. Brackish Okun left various alien symbols on the wall of his ward and is now also heading to prison. They witness how alien beings celebrate the landing of their huge ship. Thomas bravely enters the holding cell where a captive alien is confined, intending to establish communication. However, the alien suddenly seizes him with one of its tentacles, causing alarm among Patty and the surrounding soldiers. The alien manipulates Thomas, using him as a vessel to deliver a message that she is approaching, indicating that she needs our planet. In response, Patty shows the alien a picture of a sphere, which elicits a hostile reaction from the extraterrestrial creature. The soldiers open fire on the alien in an attempt to neutralize the threat, inadvertently breaking open its containment cell in the process. Umbutu sneaks up from behind and slays the enemy. As the alien emerges from its exoskeletal biomechanical suit, Umbutu takes decisive action, killing the creature to protect those present. Leaving Florida in search of their parents, the four children discover Julius still alive, and they decide to save him. The military detects an infrared signal emanating from the massive new mothership, revealing the presence of the alien queen within a chamber at its pinnacle. Intelligence reports that the aliens have actively started drilling the Earth with a plasma drill. They want to get to the core of the Earth. If they do, the Earth will lose gravity and all living things will disappear. Realizing that eliminating the Queen could potentially halt the entire alien fleet, President Lanford grants authorization for retaliatory strike. General Joshua explains the plan of action. The main task of the team is to deliver cryo-nuclear warheads to the heart of the ship and destroy the alien Queen. The Air Force is flying out to meet the fight. The colossal new mothership deploys a powerful beam, which drills deep into the Earth's core within the northern Atlantic region. By chance, a group of men aboard a boat, who had been searching for gold near the drilling site, receive communication from the government. They are offered a substantial sum of money in exchange for providing information and assistance in putting a halt to the drilling operation. Initially taking the offer lightly, the men jokingly request a staggering $100 million. Surprisingly, the government readily agrees to their demand without hesitation. Saved by the children, Julius wakes up and comes to his senses, and he understands that these children have lost their parents. The Earth's recently upgraded Air Force launches an assault, but they encounter formidable resistance from both the mothership and a fleet of newly designed alien attack ships. Undeterred, the pilots courageously navigate through the chaotic battlefield, engaging any alien they come across and unleashing a barrage of firepower. Despite numerous attempts, they fail to break through their defenses, and it was decided to enter the ship through the lower passage under the ship. While the pilots make their way towards the Queen, a realization dawns upon themed Queen is fully aware of their impending arrival, setting a trap in motion. The aliens cunningly employ an electromagnetic pulse-like blast to neutralize the jets and weapon systems of the pilots. The alien ship releases a powerful electromagnetic beam all over the Earth. All electronics and communications are out of order. Lanford's command bunker in the Colorado Mountains falls under the assault of the alien warriors, resulting in her demise and the loss of most of her cabinet. Dr. Catherine and Umbutu, studying the symbols of aliens, understand that the spherical ball is a kind of enemy of aliens in an intergalactic war. Their opponent may possibly be our ally. In the meantime, Brackish opens the container, revealing a sizable white sphere resembling the previously downed one. Jake, Dylan, Charlie, and Rain miraculously escape their impending doom and make their way into the depths of the ship. Faced with uncertainty on how to access its contents, Floyd inadvertently activates it by making physical contact, causing the sphere to spring to life. Her signature is noticed by the alien queen and determines the exact location. She puts on her exoskeleton in preparation for battle. Her camera separates from the main ship and flies in search of the sphere. To their surprise, the sphere communicates in English and proceeds to divulge the tragic fate of its own race at the hands of the alien harvesters. These extraterrestrial beings absorb the core of planets to replenish their ship with fuel and to develop their technologies. A ruthless act that they have committed in many other worlds. Her planet had been at war with them for thousands of years. During the war, they lost all their ships. She is the last one. Her system has died on super technologies, and there is a hidden planet on which she collects survivors from different planets to create a weapon together that can destroy their common enemy. A strategy is devised to entice the Queen into her remote location, providing an opportunity to eliminate her using a nuclear weapon. They are going to lure her with the help of an artificial electrical signal similar to that emitted by the sphere, and install electromagnetic protection around the bait to contain the blast wave. Patty bravely volunteers to lead the attack, but before she can take command, President Whitmore declares that it is he who should throw up nuclear weapons, thereby sacrificing himself. Julius and his children stumble upon a school bus full of abandoned children. In an act of solidarity, Julius invites the 4 children to join the others on the bus, assuming the role of driver and continuing their collective journey. Jake and his team successfully commit sabotage behind enemy lines and capture several alien fighter aircraft. With determination, the pilots prepare themselves for the forthcoming battle, while David readies himself at the designated attack site. People fight valiantly in the air and on the ground. The plan begins to work, and the Queen's ship follows the bait. In the midst of this chaos, Julius skillfully drives the bus towards David's location, putting himself in harm's way. Thomas valiantly infiltrates the ship just as the Queen's shields become vulnerable. Once the Queen falls into the trap, Thomas triggers the explosives, obliterating the ship but tragically sacrificing his own life in the process. Amid the premature celebration, it becomes apparent that the Queen is far from defeated. Emerges from the wreckage, seething with rage and towering at an immense height of around 100 feet. The Queen sets her sights on the bus, preparing to attack. Launching into a rampage, she ruthlessly targets the pilots who had sought to vanquish her. Adding to the urgency, the drill draws nearer to the planet's core with each passing moment. However, Patty takes to the skies in her jet, soaring above the Queen and expertly targeting her shields. But she herself has to eject due to damage on the fighter aircraft. Jake, Dylan, Charlie, and Rain appear on alien air fighters and cover for Petty, causing damage to the Queen. At the same time, the imprisoned aliens escape from the cells and find the white sphere, thereby exposing the scam of the Earthlings. The Queen immediately changes direction and heads to the base. All alien air fighters go offline and follow the Queen, including air fighters of Jake, Dylan, Charlie, and Rain. The Queen arrives at the base and begins to make her way inside to get the sphere. Jake, Dylan, Charlie, and Rain skillfully navigate through the swarm of alien vessels, building up enough momentum to break free for a fresh assault. They manage to break away and launch a relentless attack on the Queen from behind. Inflicting mortal wounds, she erupts out of her exoskeleton, flailing wildly until she eventually collapses, meeting her long-awaited demise. The remaining aliens are swiftly defeated, and the destructive drilling comes to an abrupt halt. Once again, Earth is saved from impending doom. As the mothership begins its ascent, departing from Earth, Jake and Patty find themselves reunited, and their joy culminates in a heartfelt kiss. Meanwhile, Charlie attempts to kindle a romantic connection with Rain, but she playfully insists on having dinner first, much to his delight. As a result, a huge spaceship finally leaves the Earth, and people triumphantly celebrate their victory. Brackish, carrying a sphere, approach us the pilots and Dr. Levinson, putting forward a proposal, starting the fight against aliens together with other races. The entire group wholeheartedly agrees, and Brackish concludes the film by declaring that it's time to kick alien ass. Subscribe my channel, leave your likes and turn on notifications to see more videos like this. Thank you for watching.